Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Jordan with New Mexico Voices for Children, and I'm very pleased to be with you here today to share everything that I know about education reform. As you are aware, we are in the midst of an intense debate about school reform and how we can best provide a brighter future for our children. So this is a perfect time for me to share with you a very simple blueprint for how we can improve our children's outcomes. Oh no, now it looks like we've got a problem with the PowerPoint. Let's see if we can get this fixed. Oh, well, who are you?
Hello there, I'm the PowerPoint baby. And who are you?
I'm the presenter for this session, baby. And this is my presentation, and if you don't mind, I think I can take it from here.
Well, you look like you might need some help. You can't even work the projector.
So, as I was saying, our educational system is greatly in need of reform.
You're telling me.
Can I please get through this?
Sure, but you're here talking about education reform, and what you're doing isn't working. You're spending almost 60% of your state budget on education after age 5, and less than 1% on the first few years. And serving very few young kids. Only a lucky few get high-quality early education. And just look at your outcomes. New Mexico has got one of the worst dropout rates and some of the lowest reading levels. Instead of investing early, you spend a lot of money on fixing problems later, like special education, not to mention crime and social services.
And that is why I'm here, to provide a simple formula for fixing problems. I'm sure you will all agree that we have to provide a good education for our children.
Sure you do, but you're starting too late. There, check it out. If we toddlers get off to a good start, we're likely to stay ahead. If we start off behind, we stay behind. All your reform isn't likely to make up the difference if it comes too late. Most of my brain is already formed before I even get to school. Learning begins at birth, but the education system doesn't start till I'm 5 or 6 years old. And by the way, I took the liberty of changing a few of your slides, so let's get on with it.
Excuse me, but you're a little child and I'm the education expert here, and I think I know what is best for our children.
I don't think you do. You see, our brains are developing very fast and very early, and the stimulation you adults provide in those first few years is like the architecture for our brain.
So you're saying it ain't all genetics?
You mean it isn't all genetics. Nope. Nature gives us a brain. Nurture shapes it. Let me try to simplify it a bit for you. A baby's brain is like Play-Doh, pretty malleable at an early age. Abuse us, that shapes our brain. Talk to us and play with us, that shapes our brains too. You adults do have an important role in this. Our parents, our early teachers, and caregivers are like the potters of the clay. You help shape our brain development.
Yes, I don't think you have to preach to us. I think we've all heard that 80% of brain development occurs in the first few years.
Actually, it's 85%, but I'll give you credit for being close. We both have a lot to learn. The point is, we little ones rely on you for that learning, for that development. If you don't help shape us in the right way, it's really hard to go back and change it later. You need to start early with programs like parent coaching and home visiting for newborns. Follow it up with high-quality childcare in pre-K with the best trained teachers. And voila! You've greatly improved the chances that babies like me will grow up to be more successful in school and become productive members of society. Change the first 5 years and you change everything. But you have to invest early.
Invest?
Yes, invest. Prominent economists have shown that investing in early childhood pays better dividends than Wall Street.
Whoa, hang on a second. Now I think you're carrying it a little too far. You're saying that the return on investment in early childhood programs is better than the return from Wall Street?
Yes, Even Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke advocates investing in early childhood in order to build a stronger workforce. And economists are not the only ones who get it. Leaders in law enforcement and the military, and even the U.S. Chamber of Commerce agree that investing in early childhood is essential for our economic future.
But can we really afford this right now?
How can we afford not to? The alternative is continued failure and poor outcomes. Right now, you're letting us little kids fall behind before we even get to school, and then blaming us and our teachers for not doing better.
Look, our state budget is already strained. These are tough economic times. Where are we going to get the money?
I'm not asking you to go raise taxes. I'm asking you to invest more wisely. New Mexico has a huge land grant permanent fund, kind of like a savings account, with more than $10 billion invested in Wall Street. The fund was set up to support public education. Once you recognize that learning begins with birth, then it makes sense to think about taking a tiny fraction more of that fund every year and invest it early in kids like me.
Wow! Did you know that we had more than $10 billion in our land grant permanent fund? Or that it's the second largest fund in the nation? So let me see if I've got this right. You're suggesting we take a little more out of the land grant permanent fund every year and use it for early care and education. I just don't know. I mean, the legislature and then the voters would both have to approve it. And besides, you're the one who's going to need that money for your education. So how could we take more out of this education savings account and still have enough for your education in the future?
Great question! Oops, I got so excited that you're finally getting this that I think I might need a diaper change.
OMG.
So here's how it works and why it's a responsible adult thing to do. Every year, New Mexico transfers less than 6% of the land grant fund to public schools, colleges, and a few other institutions. Meanwhile, the fund grows by an average of 11% per year. There are two streams of money into the fund. About 6.5% comes from investments like Wall Street, and another 4.5% in earnings from oil and gas. Even if we took up to 7% and used a little of that for early education, the fund would continue to grow, even double in less than 15 years. And future generations would still have stable funding to help pay for their education. And more importantly, kids like me will get the good start in life that we deserve. So, are you ready to give me a chance yet?
You know, I think I'm finally getting it. New Mexico is sitting on the second largest land grant permanent fund in the country and investing it in Wall Street instead of our young children, even when we know you're a better investment. Maybe it is time that we do the right thing and invest in this baby.
Do you get it now, baby?
Yeah, baby. We need to invest in kids now.